Hello and welcome. This is Kelly with the Yoga on Main online studio. Today I'm here to bring you a challenging power flow class. It's going to lead you through a lot of different variations and creative flows that are going to get the body moving, the heart pumping, and then end with a nice long relaxation. If you'd like to have some props, I'm going to personally be using blocks for just a little extra give my body a little extra space that it needs at this moment. If you don't have blocks handy, you can do everything from the hands or substitute in some props you've been using around the house. So gather your things. We're going to start in a Tadasana position in just a moment. So step the feet a little bit wider. We want to use this posture to get grounded. We're going to shift from the toes to the heels. Just finding the bottom of the feet, so maybe even start to close the eyes at this point. Spread out through the toes. See if at that same time you can spread out through the ball of the foot, so that entire front part of the foot separating each little bone as it places down on the floor. And then as those heels land, see if you can even connect a deeper part of the heel with the floor. So sometimes that very front part of the heel stays lifted with the arch. See if you can get that down. Good. Once you feel like you've really spread out and extended through the feet, bring a slight bend into the knees. That's going to encourage the tailbone to tuck under. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Good. Slide the shoulder blades down the back to feel that slight lift in the chest, so make sure you're not overextending through the abdomen or the rib cage. And then draw the chin slightly down, move the head back. Feel the entire spinal column in one long line, but without putting any pressure at all on the spine. Here in this position, notice what it feels like to be standing but still. Allow the muscles of the face to soften. Allow all tension to just float away as you bring yourself into this moment. As you know, if you have practiced for a while or are deepening your practice with some of the yoga teachings, that all the things we wish to cultivate in our life or hope to cultivate in our life, a sense of peace and compassion for ourselves and others, peace that starts within and goes out into the world, a sense of understanding and empathy. All of that starts right here on your mat within yourself. We can't give any of that out into the world or send it out into the world without practicing it with ourselves first. So I encourage you today, even though we're going to be doing a challenging practice, to still find those little places of compassion, self-love, caring, kindness on your mat in this experience. And then hopefully through that practice, as yoga is always a practice, we can find it slightly easier to send that out into our world that needs it. One more full inhale and exhale, sealing that breath. And then we'll bring the chin to the chest, start to just roll out the neck and shoulders. Good. As you're ready, we'll bring the chin all the way back to the chest. Good. Reach both hands up behind the head. Just a little added pressure and feel the shoulder blades separate from one another as the elbows fall together. Good. On your next inhale, we're going to reach the palms up towards the ceiling or the sky. Look up and feel that extension through the chest. Maybe a little tiny back bend. Be careful of your low back. Exhale, chin to chest, hands come to the back of the head, not to pull it down, but just to add a subtle pressure. We draw the belly button in and we start to round the spine slightly. And then inhale, push into those feet, lift the chest, lift the arms, look up, maybe look back. And we'll do just one more. Here's our cat-cow movement for the day. So here's your opportunity to go as deep as possible. Really bend the knees, draw the belly button in. And then inhale, lift back up again. Nice job. Exhale here, and we're going to start just a little side-to-side movement. Good. Lengthening through the sides of the torso. Really let those hips move side to side as well. Good. At the end of the next exhale, we're going to bring one hand down to the hip. Keep that other hand lifted as we come into a deeper side bend, holding here. If you want a little balance challenge, feel free to step those feet together, or you can keep them apart. And then inhale, back to center, switch out those arms. Good, nice job. Deep inhales and exhales. Next inhale reaches both hands up. Good, we'll come into a little back bend, maybe stepping or relocating to the top of the mat. Feel that extension all the way from the front of the feet up to the fingertips, the forehead, and then exhale, fold all the way down. Good. Really gentle on the low back. Start with bent knees. Hips go side to side. Swaying out. Let the head relax. Just finding your way into that forward fold. Any movement your body needs. So here's your first real work to listen to your body. Find that compassion and empathy for what you're experiencing right now. Good. Try to go a little deeper. Maybe in your pose, or maybe just with that connection of what is going on at the moment. At the end of the next exhale, we're going to keep the left hand down, move the right hand to the hip, and then rotate it all the way up. We're going to start some nice big arm circles. So reach that right arm all the way forward, back behind you. Each time it moves back, feel the right hip crease move back with it. Good. A few more circles, just letting that arm open up. Good. Gaze might follow the fingertips, or you can keep the gaze just to the right side. Last one. As that right arm comes down, we'll bend the right knee. Left leg straightens out. Bring the hand to the hip to pull it back first, and then start that circle. Good. As the hand reaches back, let that hip crease open up just a little bit more. Nice job. Couple more full breaths, inhaling and exhaling completely as you create that rotation. Last one. And then all the way back to center. Good. Hands down, bend in the knees, and start to step back into your first downward facing dog. Just like our forward fold, this is your opportunity to check in. So we'll let the legs just bend, hips sway side to side. Head and neck relax. Settling into a nice still downward facing dog where we can draw the shoulders away from the ears. Ears are in line with those upper arms. Arms are engaged, drawing in towards center and then pushing the earth away through the entire palm of the hand and all 10 fingertips. Make sure you're not putting too much pressure in just that wrist. Moving your awareness to the hips. Feeling the tailbone lift slightly as the belly pushes towards the thighs. Feel that little extension. Maybe you need to bend the knees to get there. And then exhale, straighten the legs and push the heels down. We'll take 3 more breath cycles in this open and aware downward facing dog. the end of that last one, we're going to inhale all the way forward into our plank position. Pause here when the shoulders come over that wrist crease. Squeeze the glutes, the legs, the belly in, and then exhale back, downward facing dog. Start to find a rhythm. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. 2 more. The end of that last exhale into your child's pose. Knees wide, hips back towards the heels. Let the arms melt down. You can create a little pillow for the forehead or let the head come all the way down towards the mat. And here we'll just reset. Good. Just giving yourself a reminder that child's pose is a perfectly great position to come into anytime during class. It gives the mind and body a chance to process what we've been doing, especially as we move a little quicker. Allows us to slow down. And as we've talked about, it's that perfect example of love and compassion for yourself to kind of draw inward and settle towards the floor. That grounding sensation that we all need. All right, at the end of the next exhale, we're going to come back up into our downward facing dog. This time, bring those toes to touch. Press the chest back, shoulders away from the ears, and we're going to float the right leg up. As you exhale, we're going to lower into a 3-legged plank. Let those right toes extend back and look forward. Good, leveling the body with the floor. Inhale, we reach up. Exhale, draw the knee in. So we switch the breath, and you'll see why in a moment. Inhale, open up. Exhale, draw down. A few more. This time we're going to add a crunch. So we inhale up. Exhale, when we come forward, we draw the knee to center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, draw the knee in. Inhale, get a little bit higher. Exhale, draw the knee in. 1 or 2 more. Imagine that knee is pushing the air out of the lungs. And then we step back. Downward facing dog. We'll try the other side. Left leg lifts high. Exhale, we shift forward. 3-legged plank. So avoid bringing that knee in to start. Make sure those hips don't swoop too far down towards the ground. And the gaze comes forward so we get that opening in the chest. 1 more here. Inhale as the leg lifts. Exhale, knee comes to chest. Passing through that 3-legged dog into our 3-legged plank and then crunch. Last one here. And step it back. Good. This time we're going to come down to a puppy pose, so knees wide, hips lifted, crawl the forearms or whole arm forward and let the chest melt down towards the floor. Slow the breath down. Good. At the end of the next exhale, we're going to walk those hands back. Tuck your toes under, knees about hip distance apart. Make sure all 10 toes are tucked under. Sometimes the pinky toe doesn't get involved there. Coming up into our toes pose, kneeling posture. Roll those shoulders back and down. Good. So just settle into the toes, see what that feels like. Nice job. Take an inhale. If you want to grab your blocks, they might be helpful here. And we're going to come up onto the toes. So core stays engaged. Push into those blocks or into the floor as we lift the knees up. Good, so we're in a little narrow squat, knees pointed forward, and we're centering the weight of the hips right over those toes and the heels. Good. For balance, squeeze everything in, and then possibly bring the hands out in front. Making a box out in front of you, think about the torso and this imaginary line, the sides of the box, your arms are the top and the legs are the bottom. So we want to make sure those knees aren't pointed up, they're pointed straight forward. Good, we're going to take an inhale. Exhale, hands can come down to the blocks or the floor, and we're going to extend the right leg forward for a pistol pose. Good, heel might be down on the floor or it might be lifted. We're drawing the chest up. You might find balance here. You could try left arm and right leg extended. And then when you're ready, we're going to step that right leg back, and the left leg's going to come forward. So we're just testing things out. It's not uncommon the first few times you try this to fall right on your bottom. That's what it's there for, a little cushion. Good. You might lean forward and keep bringing the heel down, but all of this is quad and core strength. Step back in, find that toes pose, and then lower it down, forward fold. Good, so we're going to incorporate that pistol into our flow. Do what you can, blocks or some support next to you usually helps if the hands don't easily reach the floor. At the end of the next exhale, roll it up, one vertebrae at a time. Good, shoulders go back and down, and we'll step to the top of the mat. Bring those blocks with you. Root down into the feet. Find Tadasana. So feet are going to come a little bit more narrow than they did for centering. We'll roll the shoulders back and down. Close the eyes, check in, notice what feels different to stand up once again. And we'll inhale, reach it up. Good. Exhale, swan dive all the way down. Inhale, half lift here. Really lengthen the spine. Bring the hands up a little higher to feel that extension. And then exhale, fold to deepen. We'll step or hop back to our first plank. Not first plank, first chaturanga. Shift forward, lower down. Inhale, scoop up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice job. All right, from here, we're going to try out a little move forward from three-legged to kind of like a crunch. I'm going to use my blocks because it gives me a little bit more space for my belly. Your choice, whatever you want to do. We're going to come into a plank pose and then lift our right leg. So here's what it looks like. We lift our right leg up. As we pull through, we twist to the side and extend out left arm, right leg. We pull it in and step it back, plank. Good, try that a couple more times. So we inhale up, exhale, extend out. Plank pose. Try to avoid going into that downward dog. 2 more. Nice job. From here, press it back, 3-legged dog, right leg lifts. Exhale, pull it all the way in and step it through the hands. Good. We'll shift forward onto the right foot. Find your warrior 3. Hands can be on blocks or the floor. Flex the back foot, turn the toes to point down and reach the top of the head forward. From this position, we're taking our left leg and bringing it all the way through. Good, sitting down onto the right heel until we land in our pistol pose. Nice job. Roll the shoulders back. Keep that heel lifted. Option for right hand. And maybe you take your peace fingers and reach around that big toe. Good. We're going to use the core and the right leg to come all the way up to stand. So you might need to lean forward a little bit more or come straight up into our standing big toe pose. Good. Left hand can stay on the hip or maybe send it back. Gaze stays straight out in front of you or for more of a challenge to the side or possibly back arm. Straighten out that standing leg. Take 2 more breaths. When you're ready, release that left toe. Step it all the way back. High lunge. Bend that right knee. Nice job. Sweep those arms up. Slide the shoulders away from the ears. Connect both feet with the floor. And see how that feels. Take one more big inhale. High lunge here. Exhale, warrior two. Good. Check in on the arms. Check in on that right knee. Sink a little lower. Reach back, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle, elbow to knee or lower, hand to the blocker floor. Reach that top arm all the way up and over. Sink the hips down with it. Take a nice big inhale. And exhale down towards the floor. Good. We'll move through another vinyasa. So we step back plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, scoop up. Exhale, downward dog. Moving through on the other side. So go ahead and grab those blocks if you're using them. Good. We're taking our left leg straight up. And then bringing it through. Three-legged plank. And then all the way into that twist. Good. Step back. Three-legged plank and foot down. A few more. Last one here. Back to that plank. Left leg lifts high. Three-legged dog. Step it through. All the weight comes onto that left foot, and the right leg lifts behind you. Good. So that left leg's going to have a lot of sensation there. Try to straighten it out. Pull the heart forward and point the back toes down towards the floor. Good. From here, bend the standing leg. Swing the right leg through as you sit into that pistol pose. Good. Walk those hands back. Heel lifts. Shoulders slide down the back. Option for opposite hand and leg. Maybe you reach to that big toe. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll work to stand up. Hand to the hip or possibly behind. Gaze in any direction. Feel the lift in the chest. Root down into the left foot. Reach up through the top of the head. Take 2 more breaths. Bend the right knee. Step it back. High lunge. Sweep those arms up. Nice job. One more inhale. Lengthening, deepening in the legs. And then open, warrior two. From here, we'll reach it back, reverse warrior. And side angle pose, elbow to knee or to floor block. Right arm reaches up and then drop the hips with that movement. Glue your elbow and your knee together so they help support one another. At the end of the next exhale, both arms down towards the floor. Step back through your vinyasa. Chaturanga. Inhale up. Cobra, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Side out. A cleansing breath. Release some of that heat. Give yourself some space. Encouragement. Love for the ability of your physical body and mind to lead you through this practice. When you're ready, look forward to the top of the mat. Step or hop your way there. We'll take another half lift. And and exhale, fold. Good. From here, we reach those hands out and up. And one more cleansing breath, hands side down to center. Good. Check in here, root down through those feet. Grab some water if you need to, and we'll move through our second round through of flow. All right, from this position, root down into the feet, and inhale, reach it up. Good. We'll take a little side bend, side to side. Just give your body some length. Look up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, reach forward, and then exhale, fold. Make your way through your vinyasa, any variation. You could hop back from crow into chaturanga or just step back, plank to chaturanga. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take a nice big breath here. We're going to take it a little further this time. So we're going to move from our three-legged dog into our fallen triangle and then into wild thing. So let's try it out. We inhale, reach up, and then we pull that leg under, send it out to the side, reach that arm up, and then we bring the hand down, reach it up and over into our wild thing. Good, so we're going to try that 2 more times. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, fallen triangle. Leg can stay lifted. And then up and over, wild thing. Last time, three-legged. Exhale, fallen triangle. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, toe to the floor, wild thing. And then take that right leg, lift it back up. Step it through, warrior 3. Nice job. Root down into the right foot, reach forward. Left leg lifts, blocks, or floor. Toes point down, gaze reaches forward. All right, from here, we're going to swing that left leg through. Make sure it doesn't hit the floor so we keep that hip pulled up into the socket and we sit back. Good. We're going to add a little bit more, so we push into those hands and we lift back up, warrior 3. Good, so a lot of power in the standing leg to come in and out. 2 more. Inhale as we come forward. Chest lifts, core engaged. Exhale as we fold. Last one. You can grunt a little bit, I have to. And then back to that pistol pose. Good. We'll reach the right hand up. This time maybe try to grab the pinky edge of the foot. And then push into the right leg. And lift it up. Nice job. Little challenging for me. Hopefully for you too. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring both hands around that left foot and draw in. Standing leg as straight as it can possibly be. Lifted leg can be slightly bent. 1 more inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, step it back, high lunge. Nice job. Arms reach up. Okay, bringing both feet back down to the floor. Enjoying that sensation. Open up, warrior 2. Good. Lengthening out through the fingertips. Reach it back, reverse warrior. Take the left hand, slide it across the low back. And then right elbow to knee or to the block. Left arm reaches up. Good. If you'd like to take that bird of paradise bind, that would be where the hands come under that left leg. And then you step in and lift the left leg. Not sure That's right for me right now. So if you know that variation and want to take it, that's a great option. The end of the next exhale. Breathe deep. Step back out of bird of paradise if you're in it. And then we're going to walk that right hand forward into our half moon. So keep the right knee bent until you come up, find balance, and then straighten it out. Good. Rotate that left hip crease open. Pull the left shoulder back. Reach that left arm up. Extend out in all directions. One more full inhale breath. Get a little lighter in the bottom hand. Maybe it hovers. Or you can bring it into hand to heart. Little balance challenge. The end of the next exhale, step back. Move through your vinyasa. Good. Take an inhale. Side out. Nice job. One more side to go. We're starting off in that three-legged dog, so send it back and up. Left leg. Exhale as you come through. We're coming into wild thing. So the leg kicks through, either hovering or not. Right arm reaches up. And then we inhale, reach it up, and over, wild thing. Good. Left hand down, inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, fallen triangle. Inhale, reach it up and over. Exhale, wild thing. Nice job. One more. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fallen triangle. Core stays engaged the entire time. And up and over, wild thing. Step that left leg high and to the top of the mat. Right leg lifts. Warrior three. Nice job. Pivot those toes down. Pull the top of the head forward. When you're ready, we'll start to draw that right leg in, not to bend, but to hover right above the floor. So pull that hip up into the socket and then sink down, pistol pose. Inhale here. Exhale, push into the hands, draw the belly in and swing it back. Good. Try it again. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Good. Back to that pistol pose. Heel can come down to reach the hand towards the edge of the foot. And then we lift back up, bringing the heel up. Push into the right hand and left foot. And possibly fall on your butt. Good. Be our blooper reel. All right, inhale, push in and draw it up. Good. Right hand to the hip, or it can move back. Try to straighten out that standing leg and possibly bring that arm around. One more inhale. Draw it in and then step it back. Reach those arms up. Nice job. Laughing at yourself when things don't go as you expected is all part of that compassion and self-love, right? Good. One more big inhale. High lunge. Sink a little lower in those legs. And open up, warrior two. Good. Reach it out. Reverse warrior. And exhale, side angle. So any variation, you can keep that arm in that bind. You could bring both arms under so that looks like this. The hands come together. You could step forward in bird of paradise. So it's one of my favorite poses when I'm practicing it. Nice job. Inhale all the way. Exhale. When you're ready, step back out of bird of paradise if you're doing it. Right hand to the hip. Step that left hand forward. Walk the right foot in and come up into your half moon. Good. Really use the right hand to pivot the right hip open. Remind the right shoulder to open, and then you can extend right hand up. Flex the lifted leg. With the last few breaths, possibly coming a little lighter on the left hand. Maybe you bring that left hand to heart center, or just to hover above the block. One more full breath. Step it back. Last vinyasa here. When you get into that downward dog, take a big inhale. Sigh it out. 2 more breaths like that. Child's pose as needed. When you're ready, look forward towards the top of the mat. Step or hop your way there. We'll pull the heart out in front of you. Lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Reach the hands out to the side. Lift it all the way up. And one more big cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale, side out. Nice job. Checking in here. Turn the sides of the mouth up. Thanking your body and mind once again for guiding you through practice. Keeping you focused as much as was possible today. The end of the next exhale, we're going to reach those hands forward, come back into our toes pose squat. See if you can sink straight down, just like an elevator, instead of leaning forward and folding to that, creating that box out in front of you once again. Good. From here, we're going to interweave the hands, point the fingers out in front. I'll actually show you from the front. So interweave the hands, and then start to open up the knees, staying on the toes until the heels come together. Nice job. Keep the shoulders pulling back and away from the ears. Good. Take one more breath. And then exhale. You can bring those hands down. Good. Get a little stretch by pushing the knees or the elbows into the knees and maybe leaning forward. Good. So you're going to feel a nice deep groin stretch. Hopefully it still feels good on the toes. If not, you can come out when you're ready. And at the end of the next exhale, we'll come down onto our bottom, a little plop or a graceful land, and extend those legs out. Good. Give the toes a little squeeze. Slide the hips forward. We're going to come down onto our back to finish off with a little core work and then Shavasana. As you land there, just check in on the low back. Move the legs around, let the shoulders relax, chin tuck slightly to the chest. I know if you're ever doing anything on the back and it becomes a little too much pressure on the low back, use your hands to support you so those hands can come right under the butt, palms facing down, and that just gives you a little extra support. So I'm going to do that today. We're going to start off, if you want more of a challenge, hands can be more out to the sides or even holding onto the mat. Good. All right. We're going to start off with one leg lifted and the other leg hovering above the floor. When we get down to that position, we're going to look up and look towards the big toe so we feel the belly pull in. And then we lift that leg back up. Inhale. Exhale. We lower the opposite leg down. Head comes up. Inhale. And exhale. So it's not just when the leg's at the bottom that we're most challenged. It's the entire movement we want to feel that work through the center of the body. Good. We're probably going to feel this in the top of the thighs as well after that work we did in pistol pose today. So perfectly normal. Getting everything a little shaky. Good. We have 3 more on each side. Last one each side here. Good. When you're ready, release those hands from behind the hips if they're there. Pull the knees into the chest. Give a little rock of the head side to side. You can even take the hands to right at the base of the neck. Give a little massage. The neck feels strained at all. Good. When you're ready, we're going to bring those feet down towards the floor. So we really want to focus on the lower part of the belly with this next stretch or this next core work. So hands are going to come back under the hips, and then you're going to cross the ankles, but the legs are going to stay slightly bent. So we want to work on this little lift in the back of the hips, but we don't want to use the momentum of the legs. I find when the legs are straighter, we tend to swing them a little bit more. So knees bent gives you a little less momentum. From here, you're going to push into the hands and the back of the shoulders and pull the low belly in as you lift just the tailbone off the floor. Good. So it's a smaller movement, but you should start to feel that work at the lower part of the belly. You can use the exhale, contracting the abdominal muscles as you push the air out. One more, and then cross the legs in the opposite direction. Nice job. Release it out. Good. Bring those feet down towards the floor. Let those legs windshield wiper side to side. Good. All right, last one coming up here. So again, support under the back of the hips or hands out to the side, whichever you choose. We're going to let the legs go straight up. Turning the toes out to the sides like you're in, what is that, first position, second position in ballet? I don't remember. Amanda would know. So push those feet up, really let the legs get nice and straight. And then we're going to lower in thirds. So we take an inhale, exhale, bring the legs down a third, inhale. Exhale, bring the legs down a third, inhale. Exhale, bring the legs down a third, lift the head at the bottom to pull the belly in and push through those heels, and then squeeze it all back up, head down. Good, so we have 4 more. Inhale. Lowering in thirds, last third, inhale, exhale, lower, head lifts, and then squeeze it back up. 3 more. Last one here. All the way back up, knees to chest. Good, nice job. All right, rock it out. Come into a little twist here. So we're going to take our hands across the left knee, or left hand across the right knee. Good. Open that up. Start to extend that leg out. See if you can reach for the edge of the foot, similar to our revolved pose we did earlier. And then you might even take the right hand to the left foot and then pull that knee back as you lay both shoulders down. So really deep twist. If it's not appropriate to hold on to one or both feet, then don't do it. Good. If it feels okay for the neck, you can look towards the right side. And so if this is causing the body to tighten up, or the breath to shorten, then that's a sign to maybe back off and do a little less. Nice job. At the end of the next exhale, we'll come all the way back into center. Good. Take the right hand across the left knee, extend it out. Good. You might grab the outside of the foot. Good. You can lift up and take left hand to right foot, and then lay the shoulders back and down. Okay. Softening through the center of the body. Last 2 breaths. Good. As you're ready, we'll come all the way back into center. Good. Pull those knees into the chest. Circle around. And then we're going to finish up with either plow pose or happy baby. So if you're doing plow, you know those hips will lift and the legs will come over. Looks like this. If you're doing happy baby, you'll just take the hands to the arches, in or outer arch, and pull those knees down. Good. Feel that release through the lower part of the back. Find the breath in the back of the body. So really breathing in to the back of the ribs, back of the hips, and in the low back. Any variation in plow pose, you might take those legs nice and wide for a wide V, or come into ear pressure pose. Good. If you're doing happy baby, you could try extending one leg and then the other, or maybe both at the same time for a nice deep hamstring stretch. Any variation, continue to breathe. At the end of your next exhale, taking your time to come out. Good. Any other movement your body needs here? One more twist. Feel free to bring that in. We'll bring our feet down to the floor. Check in on the low back. Feel free to stay here with the feet down, knees falling in towards one another. Or if it feels comfortable, you can start to extend those legs out. Taking that moment to scan down the body, just as we did in the beginning of class. So in the beginning of class, we were standing, we started from the feet up. At this point, we're going to start from the head down. So noticing how the back of the head falls towards the floor. And see if you can get a little bit more of it in contact with the floor as you sway it side to side. Good. Relax the shoulders away from the ears so the sides of the neck stay long, palms flip up. Soften around the heart, the rib cage. Feel the lungs fill, and then release all the air. top to bottom, side to side. Feel the back of the hips ground a little deeper towards the floor. Back of the legs all the way to the heels. And the feet fall open, letting go of all effort through the entire body. At the end of your next exhale, starting to bring some movement and awareness back to the surface of the body. We'll wiggle out the fingers and toes, roll out the wrists and ankles. And one by one, bending the knees, placing the feet on the floor. Gently coming onto one side and up to a seated position as you're ready. Good. When you get there, you can gather the hands in the lap or at the heart center. And just taking a moment to thank your mind and body once more. Tapping into that sense of love and compassion for yourself. With an intention to practice what we preach as we send that out and do good in our world. Send good into our world. Good. Great job on a challenging practice. The light in me honors the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.